Hello everyone. I hope you are doing very well. My name is Atik and I am an aerospace engineer at the Boeing company, and my another identity is that I am a PhD student as well at the University of North Dakota. There I am doing my PhD in mechanical engineering. So first of all, congratulations to you because you are considering doing PhD in the United States, or you have already got chances for PhD, now thinking about the pros and cons or different advantage or disadvantage of doing PhD in the USA or any other countries. Okay, so congratulations for that. And in today's video I'm going to discuss about how it looks like to do a PhD in the United States and what is the pros and cons of doing PhD in USA. Stick with me, I'm coming back soon. So yes, PhD in USA is different compared to other countries like Canada, Europe, Australia, or any other countries in some senses. What are these aspects? Then PhD in USA is different. First of all, if you want to do PhD, USA is the best place to do this. No other country is even comparable to USA. Okay, this is my personal opinion, and you will hear the same thing from many other person. So how the USA PhD is different? First of all, to do your PhD in USA, it's take longer time compared to other countries where it takes maybe 3 or 4 years, but here it can range from 5 to 7 years also. There are some reason behind it. I will discuss about it later. And another difference is that for other countries like Canada, Australia, Europe, if you want to do your PhD or in any other countries, you need to have a master's at least, then you can study your PhD program. But for the USA, you can actually study your PhD directly after completing your bachelor degree. Though some good universities have some restriction in this, like they have certain requirements if you want to do your PhD right after your bachelor degree, that you need to have a minimum grade point average CGPA or the grade point of at least 3.5 out of 4. Some university maintain this regulation, or some other departments, specific department, they maintain this minimum requirement. So you need to look this information very carefully when you are doing your research for your prospective PhD universities. Okay, so the another reason for which PhD in USA take longer time is that because you are coming directly after completing your bachelor degree. So during your time of PhD, you have to actually complete the masters in most of the cases. And when you are doing the masters, in the time of your PhD program in USA, you have to take a lots of coursework. So approximately it can vary from 20 credit to 40 credits of coursework you have to do beside your PhD or master's research work here. So when you are doing this coursework along with your research, it will add some additional pressure on you, for which you have to actually spend more times to do your PhD here in USA compared to other countries. So I hope now you got a very good synopsis of how the PhD in USA is different compared to other countries. Now in the next part of the videos, we will discuss some pros and cons of the PhD program in USA. But before that, please remember that not all the PhD is equally valuable. PhD in STEM program, especially engineering, no matter what engineering this is, aerospace engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer engineering, in any engineering, PhD is highly valuable compared to any other discipline. PhD in other field can also be equally valuable, but if you compare in prospect of career, establishment and many other things, PhD in engineering or in any STEM program is much more rewarding compared to other program or major. So in the second part of the video, now we will discuss about pros of doing PhD in the United States. Some of these pros will actually be applicable for other countries as well. So no matter which country you are planning to do your PhD, I think you will be equally or almost equally benefited. Okay, my friend. So before jumping into pros for doing PhD in the United States, let me give you a few more idea about PhD. Like when we decide going for higher study purpose, we will have essentially two main options, either to do masters or to do a PhD. But we need to first understand what is the basic difference between masters and a PhD. Let's first discuss about what is a bachelor degree. Bachelor degree is by completing some coursework and doing some project, completing some assignments and showing commitment to your college for the 4 years. You are showing that you have some capability to committed with something and you can fulfill some of the requirements by which you are getting a bachelor degree. It's a very elementary level degree for the higher study. Okay, so this is the bachelor degree. Then what is a master's degree? After completing your bachelor degree, when you go for master's degree, it's usually 2 or 3 years. There you are taking few more additional courses, and beside these courses you are writing a thesis. If you do a thesis based or research based masters, or if you do a course based masters, which is actually part-time masters, that's how it's popularly known in the United States. In this case, you are mainly taking the coursework and doing a project, submitting it, and that's how you are getting your master's degree. So what is master's degree compared to bachelor degree? You are focusing a specific area. Like in the bachelor degree, if you do it in aerospace engineering, maybe you studied all the subjects, but for the master's program, you are specifically focusing on aerospace structure, or airplane configuration design, conceptual design, or computational fluid dynamics. Any specific area you are focusing mostly, and based on this specific area you are writing your thesis or doing your project. So in master's level you are adding some additional course and doing a specific project, and that is how master's is differentiated from the PhD. Okay, and that is how master's is differentiated from the bachelor degree. So in the bachelor degree you did a lot of common coursework, like you have a holistic idea in the bachelor degree, but for the master's degree you are getting or making yourself a little bit expert in some specific area. Now what is the PhD degree compared to bachelor degree and the master's degree? PhD degree, in earlier 2 degree, bachelor degree and the master's degree, you are learning all the things that is already available in the world or available in the academia. You are reading the books, you are reading the papers, you are doing the work that is already available in the academia, or which is already available in the knowledge bundle of the universe or knowledge bundle of the world, earth. But for PhD, this is the main difference, guys. You are not only learning something which is already available in this knowledge world, but also after learning this thing, you gonna add some additional thing to this knowledge bundle or the knowledge bank of this whole world. That means this work need to be genuine, this work need to be authentic, and this work should be produced by yourself, and your knowledge that you are producing, that is going to be added to the knowledge bank of this whole earth on this specific area. So this is the main glamour of PhD, and one of the biggest motivation for which I came for. So in other 2 degree, bachelor degree and master's degree, you are learning or practicing this thing or knowledge that which are already readily available, but for the PhD you are not only learning those things, but also you are producing some knowledge along with the existing knowledge and submitting this knowledge in the form of a dissertation or PhD to the committee. They are examining this, and after this, when they find your work is valid, then you are getting the doctoral degree or the PhD degree. That means you are not only a receiver of the knowledge, but also you are a producer of the knowledge for our new generation, for the upcoming days, for the upcoming years, for the upcoming future of this our earth, our universe. Okay, so this is the main difference of PhD compared to bachelor degree and the master's degree. Now let's talk about the pros, like some advantages of doing PhD degree in the United States. So first pros that I should definitely tell to you is the scholarship. So PhD degree is mainly, or most of the time, I would say 95 to 99% PhD degree in the United States is paid. That means it's a fully scholarship program. PhD degree in most of the university, they offer the PhD degree. Along with your offer letter, they will also offer you the scholarship. That means they will give you the full tuition waive. Not only that, they will also give you monthly stipend. and based on the living expense in many states in the United States, this monthly expense can vary from $1,500 to $3,000. Now it's not a whole lot of money, but with this money as a graduate student, especially if you come as an international student, it's a lot of money for you and you can easily lead a very decent life here. I saw many PhD students, those who even lead their life with their family with this amount of money, and in most of the cases not only you can lead your life with this money, rather you can also send some contribution to your family members who are living away from you. And I did it myself. I also send my money, and actually my money, the money that I sent to my parents during my PhD program, it was actually more compared to my full-time job amount money that I was making during that time when I was in Bangladesh. So it's a win-win game. You are not only getting a higher degree, you are not only learning, you are not only getting a new degree, along with this you are also paid, and you can contribute yourself and also contribute to your family. So this is the biggest advantage of doing PhD. Like, it's a full scholarship program in most of the cases if the condition is ideal. Second pro or the advantage is that free masters. Most of the PhD in the United States, usually people start with after completing their bachelor degree. So when you are actually PhD student, you are coming directly after completing your bachelor degree. But here I should be clear that you can also come to the PhD program in USA after completing your master's degree, no problem. In that case, if the supervisor who is mentoring you or your department approve your previous master's degree coursework, then you don't need to repeat them. Most of them you can just transfer. But in ordinary cases, usually students come with a bachelor degree, and when they are doing PhD degree, initially they usually take their master's degree. So you are coming to do your PhD degree here, but additionally you are getting another degree, that is master's degree. So it's a completely free degree, and when you are getting your master's degree, you are also paid. You are getting the same facility as a PhD student. You are just getting this additional degree when you are working towards your PhD degree. So you came for one degree, but actually you got two degrees. For many people, this additional degree can be helpful in many ways. It's so cool, right? So let's now talk about some disadvantages of doing PhD in the USA or other countries. So first thing is the longer time. I said in advantage part or the pros part that staying long time in the campus is a big advantage to build yourself, to develop your skill, and also to know better about your campus. Okay, but for many people, those who have a lot of responsibilities like family responsibility or other things, spending 5 to 7 years additionally in the campus when you are not paid that much, like $1,500 to $3,000 monthly, is not a good option for many people, those who cannot afford it, okay, to afford this student life or the or this hard life. Okay, so it's not for everyone. So this longer time also come up with some disadvantages. PhD is a long-term commitment. So if you cannot afford this commitment, it is not for you. So this is one of the biggest cons of doing PhD in the USA. And the second con that I said already, part of the first con, it's not that much money, especially like it's a good amount of money for the international people, but those who have more requirement or more contribution they need to do to their family, for them it might not be a good choice. Like within this $1,500 to $3,000 to afford your family or everything, support your family back in your country, it might not be a good option for many people. So in that case, like especially if you compare, if you have a master's degree and you work in a big company with a good amount of salary, if you compare their salary and if you compare as a PhD student or graduate student salary, they are not even comparable. So in that case, additionally spend this 5 to 7 years in the academia is not a good option for many people. Third thing is that it's hard. So yeah, when I show many advantages of doing PhD, but I need to respectfully tell it to you that PhD is not for everyone. As I said, PhD is not exercising some knowledge which is already available. On the other hand, in the PhD, you are not only learning those existing knowledge, sharpening yourself, but also additionally you are generating, producing some additional knowledge in this area and submitting it to the knowledge bank of this area. Okay, and this knowledge is verified by the expert in this field. So it is not for everyone. It is extremely challenging, hardworking, and lot of dedication and sacrifice from your life is needed. So If you want to do PhD, you have to dedicate, sacrifice many things from your life, and it's absolutely hard and challenging. Okay, you have to challenge yourself each and every day. Con number 4, it's highly depend on your supervisor. When something depend on a single person, it is good, like dictatorship. If the dictator is good, if the dictator wants to take the good decision, this is good for the country, good for the people. But if the dictator is bad, everything is bad. Like, so your PhD degree is solely depend on your supervisor. In ideal cases, this is the truth, especially for the USA. So unfortunately, as I said, life is not always smooth. If you ended up in a bad relation with your supervisor for any reason, this will make your entire PhD journey very traumatic. You will not ended up with a good experience. So I will always request and request you to have a good relationship with your supervisor. It will help you not only when you are in the academia, like when you are doing PhD, but also when you will pursue your career. Her recommendation or his recommendation will really helpful for you. So try to keep a good relation with your supervisor, because it is solely his decision to give you the degree. So this is one of the biggest cons of doing PhD, I believe, especially in the USA, and I believe same thing is true to some degree for other countries as well. The fifth disadvantage, I can say, becoming so much expert in some specific area. PhD is not something very covering something so wide. In a specific topic, in a specific area, you will do some experiment, you will come up with your new results and finding. So you are putting your focus for very specific thing in your PhD program. This is making you expert, very expert in something very narrow area. So what happen in that case, you may become not suitable for overall job market in the industry. Though I said that as a PhD degree holder, you may sought a high initial salary, but this is the biggest disadvantage you need to consider, because you are becoming so special about something so narrow. So this thing you should consider when you are doing PhD, as a cons of doing PhD in USA. Then the cons number 6, an isolated life and mental health. This is a big advantage, though I didn't suffer that much of mental health, because mental health is not a so much big issue in Bangladesh or India, I believe. So we are not introduced with the mental health issue because we came from a poor country, but mental health is a big or highly discussed issue or topic in the United States. They take it very seriously, and when you are doing PhD, most of the time you will find yourself working in the laboratory, professor lab. You are isolated from the whole world or social life in most of the cases. Sometimes I had to do work in the lab even in the weekend night. I came to my apartment at 3 a.m. midnight or sometimes 2 a.m. midnight. So this is pretty common. You will lead an isolated life during this time, and you will not have any so many social activities. So be prepared for this. Sometimes it will make your mental health very traumatic. In that case, I suggest you to spend good quality amount of time with your spouse, girlfriend, or your family members back in Bangladesh or India to overcome this situation. But this is also a very big alarming thing if you come for PhD degree, because you will consistently chase some very demanding milestones set up by your supervisor or sometimes the funding authorities. So you have to cope up with this. Okay. The very last disadvantage is overqualified. So if you look at the job market, yeah, there is it is not like that if you do your PhD you will not get job in the industry. It is very likely you will get job, but if you look the job market overlook, most of the job is actually not suitable for the PhD degree holder. Because you are a PhD degree holder, you are very qualified in something, so you need the expertise job. Not all the ordinary job is good for you, and even the employer also will not give you all the ordinary job or the bachelor level job or the master's level job. They can easily hire others, because according to the labor law, so far I know, if they hire you as a PhD degree holder, you have to give you the money that you really deserve. Okay, they cannot hire you with a bachelor degree holder equivalent money. That's what I know. So why they will hire someone with a PhD degree for the work that they can be done by a bachelor degree holder or a master's degree holder. So in that case, in the job market outlook, you will not have so many job opportunity compared to the bachelor or master's degree holder. If you want to really find yourself in the industry, then having a master's degree might be a very good option for you compared to the PhD degree. Okay, so these are the cons. So now you know the pros and cons of doing PhD in the United States. Now in the next part and very last part of the video, I will give my opinion whether you should do a PhD or not. So at the very beginning of this video, I gave you the difference between among PhD degree and bachelor and master's degree. There I told you that PhD is not only learning new things, it's also generation of new things, new knowledge and submitting it. So in that case, for the PhD degree, it's really extremely challenging because you have to produce knowledge, valuable knowledge in the area that you are working. That's why I said it's not for everyone. It's extremely challenging, but at the same time it's extremely rewarding. Actually, this is one of the pros for my case, like one of the big side for which I choose to do PhD, because I love to learn and I love to contribute knowledge. So this is one of the biggest driving force for me for choosing my PhD, though I am in the industry and already working as a full-time engineer. But if you ask me, I'm an international, like shall I go for my PhD or master's degree? Like if you are an international student, like I would say that definitely you should consider doing a PhD, because if you find that you are not good for PhD, you can always leave it after taking a master's degree. There is an option for you, but you should come as a PhD degree student. Why? Because PhD degree is a fully funded program. If you try to come as a master's student, most of the time you have to pay your tuition fees, or even if you get the assistantship or something, it will not be that much rewarding. But as a PhD student, it is almost guaranteed that you will be funded by the department, at least the tuition waiver you will get. So if you are an international student like me, coming for a PhD degree is a big investment and rewarding investment for you. It is one of the best things that you can do for yourself if everything others goes well. But if you are someone from the USA, already living in the USA, if you watch my video, then you can think about it. Like with your master's degree, if you do not have so much passion for learning and contributing in the knowledge field, or if you are already in the industry after having your bachelor or master's degree, a PhD degree might not be so much helpful for you. In that case, unnecessarily you will be trapped in living an ordinary life when you are a graduate student or the PhD student. So it might not be that much rewarding for you. Already if you are a local, or if you are a citizen, or if you are already people of this great country, United States. But I'm talking mostly for the international student. Like if you want to become an immigrant to the United States, or if you want to build your rest of the life here, then PhD degree is a great opportunity, not only to make yourself a scholar, educated, highly educated person, but also it will give you the opportunity to live in this great country and build your career here and contribute in the long run for this great country. Okay, so as an international student, I would say this is of course a rewarding opportunity. If you get this opportunity, definitely you should take it. And in the meantime, when you are doing PhD, if you think yourself you are not good for that, you can always skip it. And those who are already from here, like if you are already from United States, you did your bachelor degree, master's degree from here, you are a local citizen here, then in that case, if you want to build your career in the academia, for building your career in the academia as a professor, there is no option without having a PhD degree. So you definitely should consider. But if you in the industry, you can also do your PhD, but in that case I would recommend you to do it as a part-time PhD. Like after bachelor or masters, work in the industry, then try with your employer that whether they have any tuition assistance program for doing your PhD. Like in my case, Boeing is paying for my PhD program to my university, so I don't need to pay anything from my pocket. So talk with your employer, see do they have any tuition assistance program. If it is, then if you want to increase your knowledge or gain an additional degree or highest terminal degree in your life, then you can go for PhD when you are doing your full-time job. And there is nothing to lose in this case, because you are already in the full-time job. So in ideal cases, maybe it might took 4 to 5 years, but in your case, because you are doing job, it may take 7 years. Though there is nothing to lose, you are already in the full-time job. A PhD degree will be an additional thing in your profile, which will help you in the long run. So this suggestion is for you. So my friend, whether you are an international student or you are already a local citizen here, no matter who you are, I hope if you watch this video carefully, you got a very good idea about doing PhD in USA. What are some of the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages. And after this, if you decide yourself you are a suitable candidate for PhD, you are always welcome in this field of knowledge. I always welcome you do your PhD in the USA. USA is the best place to do your PhD. There should not be any other competitor in this field. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any further question, feel free to drop a comment below. I will try to reply your question, and if you have anything related this you want to know, also let me know. I will try to make a video in the future. Till then, have fun and enjoy each and every moments of your day and time, and I wish you all the best and good luck. Have a nice rest of the day. Bye.